You're not addicted to your phone. Nobody is. There is no such thing as phone addiction. What you actually have is a foraging brain, dropped into an environment with infinite food and no walking required. Your thumb isn't scrolling. It's foraging, and it has been foraging for 300,000 years, so why can't you stop? In 1957, a psychologist named B.F. Skinner ran an experiment with pigeons that would end up explaining your phone better than any tech company ever will. He put a pigeon in a box with a lever. Press the lever, get a food pellet. Simple. The pigeon learned fast, pressed, got food, pressed, got food. Predictable. Boring, even to a pigeon. Then Skinner changed one thing. Instead of a pellet every time, the lever paid out at random. Sometimes one press, sometimes 20. No pattern the pigeon could learn, and something strange happened. The pigeons that got food every single time eventually slowed down. The pigeons on the random schedule never stopped. They pressed harder, faster, longer. Some of them pressed the lever until they collapsed from exhaustion, still reaching for the next press. Skinner called it a variable ratio reinforcement schedule. It is, to this day, the single most powerful behavior reinforcing pattern ever discovered in a lab. Not guaranteed rewards, not no rewards, random rewards. This is not a metaphor for your phone. This is the actual mechanism. Every time you pull down to refresh, you are the pigeon. Sometimes the app gives you nothing, a boring post, an ad. Sometimes it gives you something incredible, a video that makes you laugh, a message from someone you like, a piece of news that changes your whole day. You never know which one is coming. And that unpredictability is not an accident. It is the single most studied, most reliable behavioral hook that exists, and every major platform has engineers whose entire job is tuning it. Your brain didn't evolve to resist this. It evolved to fall for it completely. Here's why. For most of human history, your ancestors were foragers searching a landscape for food that was never guaranteed. A bush might have berries, it might not. A river might have fish today and nothing tomorrow. The brain that survived best was not the one that gave up after one empty bush. It was the one that kept checking. Just one more bush, just one more spot. That unpredictability is exactly why foraging worked as a survival strategy, and exactly why it wired something permanent into you. Neuroscientists have since mapped this down to the molecule. Dopamine, the chemical everyone blames for addiction, is not actually released when you get a reward. It spikes when you anticipate one. In the 1990s, researcher Wolfram Schultz ran experiments on monkeys and found that dopamine neurons fired hardest in the moment right before a reward arrived, not after. The chemical isn't a pleasure signal, it's a seeking signal. It exists to make you look for more. That means the reward itself was never the point. The looking was the point. This is why refreshing a feed feels compulsive even when the content is mediocre. Your brain isn't chasing the post. It's chasing the moment right before you see it, the same moment your ancestors felt walking up to a bush that might or might not have fruit on it. You have inherited a brain built to treat every possibility of reward as almost as good as the reward itself. So the next time you catch yourself scrolling past the point of enjoying it, this isn't a failure of willpower. It's 300,000 years of a foraging brain doing exactly what it was built to do, in the one environment on Earth built specifically to never let it stop. You're not weak, you're just very, very old.